which is mainly driven by the sun. Do you guys know why is the sun is important to us, right?
Yes.
Why is the sun important to us? Just one person. We're not in a choir, right? Thank you. Just one person. Why is the sun important to us? You can just raise your hand. There's no wrong answer or no right answer.
I don't know why.
Okay, the guy in the back, yes, quickly.
They provide heat and light.
Provide heat and light, very good. What else? Provide us vitamin B or vitamin D, I think. Okay, next, what else? I want the most important thing. I'm not saying what you're saying is not important, it's also important. What else? So the sun is a source of energy, don't you guys know that? So the sun is the source of energy. So without the sun, there wouldn't be life here on earth. You guys know that, right?
Yes.
And you know that the sun is just a star.
Yes.
Right? So it's a star within our solar system. Now, why do we monitor space weather? Why do we monitor the sun? We have satellites that are just looking at the sun 24/7 every second. So the main reason we monitor the sun is because nowadays we're so dependent on technology, right? I'm sure all of you watch TV, live soccer, all of you use WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right?
Yes.
Now, can I ask you guys something? Just a simple question. How many of you have seen microwaves? Okay. Let's make it like this. How many of you have seen microwaves? Just raise your hand. If you have seen a microwave, just raise your hand. I'm being serious with you, seriously. How many of you have seen microwaves? Just raise your hand.
We are conducting a study here, so we must just speak this truth. Do you know, have you ever come across with a
Microwave, have you seen guys microwaves? Okay? Just raise
We're
your
not
hand.
asking from a home, but we have
Anyway,
ever
it's
seen a
fine.
microwave. Go ahead.
Okay, it's fine. How many of you have never seen a microwave? I'm one of those. I've never seen one. We are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guys, the reason I'm asking this question is very important, by the way. Now, I said we're so dependent on technology nowadays, and the sun from time to time interrupts our technology, right? Interrupts our satellites. I was talking a lot about satellites. So the sun interrupts our satellite most of the time. Now, one of our major clients, I'll give you an answer to the question I was asking you. One of our major clients is SANSA, is the South African National Defence Force. Do you know soldiers, right?
Yes.
Have you seen soldiers communicating using cell phones?
No.
Have you asked yourself as to why not?
No.
Anyone who can tell me why are soldiers not using cell phones to communicate?
Because there are no signals on there. Maybe there are no signals.
Maybe there are no signals. Okay, I'm happy with the word signal, but not maybe there are no signal, no. What do soldiers do? What do soldiers do for the country?
Maybe they can be tracked.
Maybe they can be tracked. Very good. Okay, I'll give you something. I'll just give you a cap. Wow. Now, if you have noticed soldiers, right? They use walkie-talkies most of the time, right?
Yes.
As I was saying, because they don't want to be tracked, they don't want anyone to interfere with their signal or detect their signal. But with your cell phones, because they're using what you call satellite communication satellite, as Sneh was talking about, those the one within a higher altitude, right? So GEO satellites, which is your geostationary satellites, we use it mainly for communication. And our cell phones are using satellites to communicate. Now, the reason I was asking you guys about microwaves, it was important. Because your cell phone is using microwaves to communicate. Right? You understand that? So a microwave is a signal. So there's no wave, it's just a wavelength, so there's no way you can tell me that you have seen it. It's a shorter wavelength that I'm sure all of us have never seen it. So it's called a microwave. So if you are doing grade 12 and you're doing what you call EM spectrum, electromagnetic spectrum, where you learn about radio waves all the way to gamma rays, right? Yes. So in between, you will have what you call microwaves somewhere there, isn't it? Yes. So you have seen those wavelengths?
No. Yes. No.
So at home, you have an oven that uses microwave to heat up your food or to heat up your things, isn't it? Yes. So it's an oven, that is why they say it's a microwave oven. They didn't just say it's a microwave. So it's an oven that uses microwaves. So also there's your cell phones, they also use microwaves to communicate. So if you have noticed in the mountains, right, there are those big poles. So with those poles, there are dishes, the things that like Sneh was showing you. So we call those microwave links. So those microwave links, what they do, they get a signal from a satellite, get it to them, and then they distribute around your area. Have you noticed how difficult it is in the area where that pole is not visible to communicate? Yes. So you're always saying there's no signal, or there's no visibility of signal. It's because there are no microwave links that are closer to you. Do you guys understand that? Yes. So one of the things that we do then with space weather, we monitor the sun because the sun has a major effect on the satellites. Why do they have a major effect on the satellites? It's because the satellites are just orbiting outside our magnetic field. So the magnetic field is an invisible shield that is protecting us from the sun. But the satellites are just orbiting outside of that invisible shield. Do you guys understand that? Yes. Any question? So the careers, all the careers that Sneh is talking about, is also the careers that we're also involved in. It's mainly us, it's space weather, we have forecasters, people that are looking into the sun 24/7, every day. So they're looking at how the sun is behaving, and they're looking at how the sun is impacting our technological systems. Right? You sure you don't have any questions? Can I ask you guys a simple question? Oh, yes?
Oh. How does the sun exactly affect the satellites?
That's a very good question, eh? So how does the sun affect the satellites, right? Now, if you're doing grade, you're already doing grade 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Yes. What are the three phases of matter? I want someone else. What are the three phases of matter? Yes?
Solid, liquid, gas.
Solid, liquid, gas, right? Very good. Yeah, also good. Now, the three phases of matter, you know it's solid, liquid, gas, right? Yes. But when you get to university, you learn about the fourth state of matter, or the fourth phase of matter, which is called plasma. So not plasma TV at home. So plasma, the sun is mainly referred to as plasma. So the sun consists of boiling gases only. So it's hydrogen and helium. You guys know what is a periodic table. You know helium, you know hydrogen, right? Yes. So the sun is made mainly of helium and hydrogen. Now to answer your question, how does the sun then have an impact on our satellite? Now, as the sun is releasing particles into space in the form of solar flares and what we call coronal mass ejections, it also releases what we call solar winds, which is the actual particles coming from the sun. They come in the form of electrons and protons. You know what is an electron and proton, right? Yes. What is an electron and a proton? No, I want someone else now. An electron and a proton. I said most we're going to be interactive, right? So what is an electron and a proton? Yes? So it's a negligible charge and Okay, I'll give you a t-shirt because you're a lady. Now, to answer your question, so a satellite is electronics on board of it, right? So if those particles, they manage to penetrate through a satellite, they then destroy anything that is electronical in your satellite because they coming as a form of protons and electrons. So it's negative charge and positive charge, just like with your electricity. Yes. Any other question? Okay, so this is what we're gonna do quickly, just for 15 minutes. So Sine said this is Zacubi 2, right? This satellite. So it's a nano satellite, and then we have here Zacubi 1, a model of Zacubi 1, right? All of you guys do mathematics, right? At some stage you did mathematics, right? Yes. Okay. How do you calculate an area of a square? Quickly. I'm gonna have you raise your hands, guys. Quickly. Okay, now we're coming out of science. Now we're going to simple maths. How do you calculate an area of a square? Yes. It's a side times side, right? So it's a side square or length square. That's very good. And then also, the next question, how do you calculate an area of a volume or a tube? Quickly. Yes? Length times breadth, there's something missing. Length times breadth times height, length times width times height, right? Okay? Also gonna give you something quick. So this is what we're gonna do. We have this. So this is CubeSat 1. So this is how the satellite that is also in space looks like. It was also built at Cape Peninsula University of Technology. So we call this a U1. This is a U3, right? So if you put 3 of these, they make the size of this one. Do you guys understand that? Yes. So this one is U1, this one is U3. So this one was launched in recently, and this one was launched in 2013. These were both launched in Russia. The reason these were launched in Russia is that currently in South Africa, we don't have launching sites. So maybe if you guys, one day, you can do engineering, you can do physics, you can be one of those people that will work in our launching sites. So within 5 years' time, we're gonna be doing our own launching here in South Africa. So that is the plan. So maybe one of you guys can be absorbed to be one of the engineers that are gonna be using those rockets and those buses that Sine was showing to launch things into space here in South Africa. So we won't have to go to America or to Russia. So that is the plan in the next 5 years. Now, what does that then mean? It means then the careers that you guys choose, you must choose wisely. If you have noticed, most of the careers now, nowadays, they are no longer that effective. But every day there are new careers that are coming up, especially those that are related to technology and engineering. So when you choose subject wisely. Don't choose subject because your friend is choosing this. And also don't choose careers because your friends are choosing those careers. Do you guys understand that? Yes. Sometimes you just need to be aware of KZN. Just go to Gauteng, go to Western Cape, leave your home ground advantage. Go somewhere that no one knows you. In that way, then it means you'll be serious about what you do in life. Do you guys understand that? Yes. Now, this is what we're going to do with you. So what you need to do now, as groups, we're going to give you guys this. You don't have to do it now. You can do it at your own time. But this is the most important thing. You measure all these sides that are here. So if you know how to calculate an area of a square, how many sides do you need?
2 sides.
So you just only need 2 sides. So if those 2 sides, they give you the same length or the same distance, then it means the other 2 are also equal, right? So that is how an area of a square. So this is in 2 dimensions, right? And then you get this to be a cube, right? So meaning now you're going to need how many sides? 3 sides, isn't it? So in this one you need 2, and then in this one you need how many? 3. So you're also going to measure these 3. 1, 2, 3. So that is going to give you a cube, and then you can get a volume from there. Do you guys understand that? Yes. Can you guys do that on your own? Yes. You sure? Yes. So we're going to give the grade 12s that are here 5, and then the grade 11 also 5, and then the grade 9s you're going to give them 10. So you can do this one on your own. And then you calculate, and then you give the teacher, because we're going to give you a worksheet that you're going to give it to your teacher when you're done. And then the teacher will know if what you did is right or wrong. We're not going to mark anything with you guys. So we're going to use the last 10 minutes or 9 minutes with you guys for you to ask any questions. So if you ask a question, we give you something. If you ask you guys a question, we also give you something. Okay, can I start with the question? Yes. So I'll be your starter. Okay, so Snare said in her presentation that the planets are natural satellites, right? And also we have our own artificial satellites, right? Now, the question that I'm going to ask you guys is a very simple question. What is a satellite? Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry.
I would say it is an orbiting machine or an object around the Earth.
It's an orbiting machine or an object around the Earth. Okay, I'll give you that answer. Okay, who can give me another answer similar to his answer? Okay, if it was a test, that answer I was going to give it 80%. So one answer that's going to give, I'm going to give 100%. I think Snare did explain what is a satellite. Okay, if you give me a right answer, this is what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a cap, I'm going to give you a pen, I'm going to give you a t-shirt, I'm going to give you a water bottle, and I'm going to give you a bag. So you guys know the answer, right? Not really. No, I want someone else. Guys, I want someone else. I mean it. I'm going to give you a bag with a t-shirt, with a cap, with a water bottle, with a pen, with an armrest, with a ruler, with a Why is my question difficult? Very easy. Since we've been talking about satellites the whole presentation.
Or let me ask another one. I explained remote sensing. What is a satellite? Who speaks with the satellite?
It's a simple question, guys. Okay, I'll give this to a young girl there. Yes.
A satellite is a machine that is out of Earth that takes pictures of Earth and that changes that happens every day.
Okay, I'll also give you 80% like him. Also, I'll give you a pen and an armrest for that answer. That answer is not wrong, right? Last one. You only have 4 minutes. Yes, Sissy? Okay, can you guys not use the word machine? Because the moon is not a machine, for example. Yes, very good.
That is orbiting around the Earth as it gives the Earth a signal and it's taking pictures of the changes.
I'll also give that one 80%. Does the moon give us signals? No. before you guys start guessing. Yes? Yes? You're almost there. Okay, I'll give you 85%. We're almost there. Last one. Okay, I'll give you 2. Okay, yes?
The satellite is the object of man-made object that orbits around the Earth.
I can remember the moon is not man-made. Earth is not man-made, right? And then we said Earth is also a satellite because it goes around the sun. Last one, and then I'll give you an answer.
in space to record possible information about it.
The moon is not recording anything. Okay, let me give you an answer. Okay, must I give you? But you've been answering everything. Okay.
The satellite is an object that orbits around the sun.
No.
Around
Okay, let me give you a simple answer and you guys will laugh at this. So, a satellite in simple form, a satellite is a small object going around or orbiting around a bigger object. Simple as that. You guys understand that? So the sun can't orbit around the earth. The earth can't orbit around the moon. The moon is smaller than the earth. The earth is smaller than the sun. The man-made satellite, artificial satellites are smaller than the earth or the planets that they go to. So hence I'm saying a satellite is an object, it's a small object that goes around a bigger object or orbit around a bigger object. Simple as that. So, any questions from your side? Okay, what's the question? Yes.
So I want to ask, how does the satellite get up there in space?
Okay, she will explain it again.
It is launched by a rocket. And when it is launched, it is not launched in, you heard Tangible talking about Russia, right? So the satellites are launched in Russia. But when they're launched in a desert or near the ocean. So that when the boosters, and the rocket has something, elements of components that are called boosters. So when the boosters come back into the earth, they will be able to fall into the ocean or fall into the desert so that they don't kill people. So it's basically been launched by a rocket.
To answer the question further, which grade are you doing? Grade 11. Have you guys done Newton's laws? Can you guys tell me what does second and third law say of Newton? The reason I'm asking you about Newton's law is related to what she was asking and what Isle was answering. He's talking, guys.
Newton's second law said when you apply and
Which one is that? Second or third?
second.
Second, okay.
When you apply a force on net force, it is on an object. Newton's second law states that when you apply a force, when you apply a F net on an object mass, it will accelerate to the direction of the F net.
To accelerate to the?
To the direction of the F net. The
F
possession
force,
force.
okay. That is very good, okay. So, no, he's right, guys.
That law said when body A apply a force on body B, body B will exert the same force opposite in direction but same in magnitude.
Can you give me an example where you're standing of what you're talking about? Of the table. Quickly.
If we apply a force on the table, it will apply the same force but opposite in direction in same magnitude.
Okay, guys, the reason I was asking about you, the reason I'm asking you guys about Newton's laws is because what Snare is talking about, they also apply those laws when they launch satellites, right? Because there's gravity pulling something down, and then there's an escape velocity for you to be able to generate enough power for your rocket to go outside of our space, so that the gravity cannot pull it back. So in that way, you know, they talk about second law being force or net force is directly proportional to acceleration, right?
Yes.
Or they say net force is inversely proportional to mass. You guys know that, right? Yes. And then when they talk about third law, they talk about action reaction, simple as that. Okay. So that is what they use when they launch satellites. Any other question? 10 seconds only. Only one person. That's what I pen quickly.
My question says, as we know in future, people believe in mass.
Sorry?
People in future believe in mass. Is it true? But
People in future, they will be living in Mars. In Mars.
mass.
Oh, Mars is a planet. Oh, okay. So currently on Mars, you know, there are so many robots that are going to Mars now, right?
Yes.
And also you've seen recently there's a helicopter that went to Mars, right? I think about 3 weeks ago. So currently the study that is going there is that they're trying to see if there's ever going to be possibility of life happening on Mars, right? So to answer you, I'm not sure. but to have life in any planet, what do you need? What is the most important thing? The most important thing. You need water, right? So if there's no water, if there's no traces of water, then there's definitely no life. But I'm not sure, they're still doing research. So I'm not being funny with you. To answer you, I'm not sure. Maybe in future there will be people staying on Mars. If whatever the robots find that there's life on Mars. Okay guys, thank you very, very much. And we hope that you learned something. We're gonna leave these with the teachers so that you can do the activity on your own. And also as Snare said, if you want to start your own science clubs, we're gonna support you guys. And Snare is gonna be the coordinator for those. So the teacher will just contact Snare and say, what can we do to start our own science clubs? Can you guys provide us with things that we'll need to start a science club? Thank you very much, guys.
Good morning, learners. So how many of you want to become space engineers, scientists? Yes, excellent. So you have to do very well in maths and science, eh? Okay. So this one is saying, did you learn something today? Yes. What did you learn? A lot of things, eh? Yes. A lot of things about space. Yes. A lot of things that you didn't know about the 9 provinces as well. Yes. Okay, great. Let us give the team a round of applause. No, it doesn't work like that, eh? Mr. Bruno said round, eh? The earth is round or joint or what's the shape? So is this round? A round of applause. SANSA. Colleagues, we appreciate you for coming out, taking your time. We appreciate you to inform our learners and to share your knowledge with our learners. We thank you so much for that. And may this not be the last of your engagements with us. Please come back, and we'll always give you the platform to share with our learners. And also, if you have bursaries and more goodies for our learners, please bring them. We are always deprived here in this part of KwaZulu-Natal. It's a rural district, and we hardly get any interventions here. So when we see things like this, our learners, we as the education department and learners, we are very, very pleased. So yes, once again, may God richly bless you. Thank you so much for coming out and making the time to be with us today. Let's give them another round of applause.
We can't live in the planet when there's no water. What's the name? Oh, okay.
To our visitors, Dingeka, to our visitors before they leave the school, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank them for visiting our school and for being selected among very many high schools as one of the chosen ones for you to come and make a presentation. We'd like to thank the Department of Education for coming and bringing such a wonderful opportunity. And we want to thank SANSA for coming to our school. Please, guys, do come back again. We have some youngsters who are good in maths and science. Their future is very bright, so all they need is the right channel on which areas to take to embark on. Because we know now we are living in an internet age, in a fourth industrial revolution. So thanks a lot for coming. We appreciate what you've done for us, and I'm sure our learners have been empowered. Please do this at
Thank you so much, but do remember that we couldn't get all the grade 11, all grade 12, all grade 9s and grade 10. But as you were chosen, please make sure that when you go back, you convey the message to other learners in your schools, okay? Yes. Why are you saying, why are you mumbling now? I think that part was happening outside there, not in this class. There was no one who was mumbling. Because we're lucky that you were chosen. But now why can you keep the information into yourself? Please share with others, all right? And remember, that activities that we are giving, many are we are the one who are going to be responsible for these activities that we're giving. Because we come back and monitor what learners have done. Maybe even if it's one they need to present to us. So thank you so much. We are all going to work together going forward. As I said, this is the starting point. We are still going far, okay? So what we need is for you to cooperate as learners to your teachers when they are giving you instruction. Thank you so much. We are rushing to another school.
Just 2 minutes. Just gonna give this learner a chance to respond, just to say a few words. Yes, thank
you. Good morning, learners. On behalf of Dingeka High School and the learners in this room, we are saying thank you to the members of SANSA for giving us this very informative and very educational presentation. It will help us to choose careers if we want to go into astronomy or any science related to space. Streams in university, especially us in grade 12s, it is very imperative to know the decision before we embark on your adventures. So thank you very much.